What if I told you that behind the red carpets and flashing cameras, some of Hollywood's most beloved black actors were living through divorces so messy that they tried to erase them from history? On screen, they played roles of power, love, and control. But off-screen, their marriages were falling apart in ways you wouldn't believe. Here are 15 of the worst divorces black actors desperately tried to hide. 15. Forest Whitaker and Keisha Nash. For years, Forest Whitaker and Keisha Nash looked like the picture of calm and class, graceful, private, and deeply connected. But behind the smiles and movie premieres, things were falling apart. After more than 2 decades together, Forest quietly filed for divorce, catching everyone off guard. There were no public fights, no cheating scandals, just silence. That silence spoke volumes. Rumors of emotional distance and growing apart floated through Hollywood, but neither ever confirmed them. Fans were left stunned when court papers surfaced, revealing the end of a love story many thought would last forever. Forrest, known for his emotional roles, faced one of his hardest scenes off-screen, saying goodbye for good. 14. Boris Kodjoe and Nicole Ari Parker. To the world, Boris Kodjoe and Nicole Ari Parker were the definition of black Hollywood royalty, beautiful, elegant, and madly in love. Their chemistry lit up both red carpets and TV screens, making fans believe in real-life fairy tales. But whispers began to grow louder over the years, claims of long separations, quiet arguments, and emotional distance. Despite the constant rumors, the couple stayed tight-lipped, keeping fans guessing what was really going on. Some say fame's pressure created invisible cracks they refused to show the world. Whether true or not, their silence only fueled more curiosity. Behind the smiles and romantic Instagram posts, people couldn't help but wonder if that perfect picture was slowly fading out of frame. 13. Taye Diggs and Idina Menzel. Taye Diggs and Idina Menzel were once one of Hollywood's most talented and admired couples. They met on Broadway, where sparks flew instantly, and their love story seemed unstoppable. But fame can be a tricky guest in a marriage. As their careers soared in different directions, distance began to build. Rumors of jealousy, conflicting schedules, and emotional drift quietly surrounded them. By the time the divorce papers came, fans were heartbroken. What made it worse was how gracefully they handled it. No public blame, no scandal, just a quiet ending to something that once felt magical. Their split became proof that even when love begins in harmony, fame's noise can make it hard to keep the rhythm alive. 12. Lawrence Fishburne and Gina Torres. Lawrence Fishburne and Gina Torres were the kind of couple Hollywood admired. Strong, graceful, and unshaken by fame. For years, they stood side by side at premieres, radiating unity. But then, photos surfaced of Gina with another man, and the truth began to unravel. The couple had already been separated quietly, but no one knew. Rather than fuel the gossip, both handled it with mature silence. No drama, no accusations, just 2 people who outgrew the love they once had. Their split revealed something rare in Hollywood: dignity in heartbreak. Fans respected them even more, but behind that poise was a private pain they both carried quietly, proving that sometimes love ends long before the world ever finds out. 11. Cuba Gooding Jr. and Sarah Kapfer. Cuba Gooding Jr. and Sarah Kapfer's love story began long before fame. 2 high school sweethearts who grew up together and faced life hand in hand. But as Hollywood embraced Cuba, the simple life they once shared started slipping away. After more than 20 years of marriage, Sarah quietly filed for separation, and soon after, for divorce. Their split wasn't loud or scandalous, but it carried a sadness deeper than headlines could show. Friends claimed fame changed Cuba, while others said the distance between them simply grew too wide. After decades of love, raising children, and building a home, they walked separate paths. It was a gentle goodbye that reminded everyone that loneliness can exist even in long marriages. 10. Anthony Anderson and Alvina Stewart. Anthony Anderson and Alvina Stewart had a story that began before fame. College sweethearts who stuck together through every struggle. But as Anthony's career took off, their marriage started showing cracks. They filed for divorce not once, but twice, trying to fix what was already broken. The long separations, rumors of infidelity, and the pressures of fame made it harder to stay together. Each reunion gave fans hope, but the final split ended those dreams for good. Their love story was a reminder that even when two people share history, success can sometimes pull them apart. Hollywood may celebrate their achievements, but behind the cameras, it costs them something far more personal: the family they built together. 9. Malik Yoba and Cat Wilson. Malik Yoba and Cat Wilson were once the kind of couple that quietly inspired admiration. No scandals, no headlines, just calm togetherness. But somewhere along the way, the peace faded. Their marriage ended almost as quietly as it began, with barely a whisper from either side. There were no interviews, no statements, just silence. Over time, fans started noticing Malik attending events alone, and rumors of separation started spreading. Some claimed their lifestyles drifted apart. Others hinted at deeper emotional distance. Whatever happened, both chose privacy over public drama. Their quiet breakup was almost eerie in an industry that thrives on gossip, showing that sometimes heartbreak doesn't need noise. It just slips away, unnoticed until it's too late. 8. Mike Epps and Michelle Epps. Mike Epps may have made millions laugh, but behind that humor was a painful reality. His marriage to Michelle Epps looked strong. From the outside, 2 daughters, red carpet smiles, and family posts online. But everything changed when Michelle discovered he'd been messaging another woman. What followed was a bitter and emotional split filled with accusations and public tension. Divorce papers revealed shocking financial details, and Michelle spoke about feeling blindsided. For Mike, the fallout was rough. His personal image took a hit just as his career was booming. What began as a love story full of laughter turned into one of betrayal and heartbreak, reminding everyone that even comedians can't joke their way through real pain. 7. Idris Elba and Sonia Nicole Hamlin. Idris Elba and Sonia Nicole Hamlin's love story burned fast and bright, but for only 6 weeks. They secretly married in Las Vegas, deeply in love and full of hope. But soon after, reality hit. Hollywood insiders reportedly told Idris that being married could hurt his image as a rising sex symbol. The pressure worked. He filed for an annulment, leaving Sonia heartbroken. Years later, she revealed how sudden it all was, how fame tore apart what felt genuine. Idris moved on to superstardom, while Sonia disappeared from the spotlight entirely. Their short-lived marriage became one of Hollywood's most quietly tragic tales, a reminder that sometimes fame doesn't just change your life, it decides who you're allowed to love. 6. Terrence Howard and Michelle Gent. Terrence Howard and Michelle Gent's relationship was more chaos than calm. From the start, their marriage was filled with intense passion and explosive fights. Soon, things spiraled into one of Hollywood's messiest breakups. Accusations of abuse, restraining orders, and leaked recordings painted an ugly picture on both sides. Each court appearance brought new drama, turning their divorce into a public spectacle. What once looked like love became a battlefield. Terrence claimed manipulation. Michelle claimed violence. In the end, neither walked away unscathed. The emotional damage lingered long after the papers were signed. Their story wasn't just a divorce, it was a Hollywood cautionary tale about how toxic love can destroy everything, even the people who once swore they couldn't live apart. 5. Wesley Snipes and April Dubois. Before Blade made him a global star, Wesley Snipes was married to April Dubois, the woman who stood by him when he had nothing. But success has a way of changing everything. As his career exploded, so did the pressure and the temptations that came with it. Rumors of infidelity began to swirl, and the emotional distance grew. By the time they divorced, Wesley was already living a completely different life, one filled with fame, money, and chaos. Their breakup wasn't loud, but it was heartbreaking. April faded into quiet normalcy, while Wesley kept running with the fast life that eventually caught up with him. Their story showed how success can lift you high enough to lose what truly mattered. 4. Martin Lawrence and Shamika Gibbs. Martin Lawrence has always been the funny man everyone loves, but behind that humor was a storm brewing. After years together and 2 daughters, his marriage to Shamika Gibbs came crashing down. Fame had brought him success, but it also brought stress, long work hours, and emotional distance. Friends said he was battling inner struggles while trying to keep his family together. When they finally announced their split, it shocked fans who thought they had it all. There were no explosive fights or cheating scandals, just quiet exhaustion. The laughter that once filled their home faded into silence, leaving Martin to face a truth he couldn't joke away. Sometimes even the man who makes everyone smile can't fix the pain behind his own doors. 3. Halle Berry and Eric Benet. When Halle Berry married R&B singer Eric Benet, it looked like a match made in heaven. 2 beautiful stars, both talented and adored. But behind the glamour, cracks began to show. Eric's cheating scandals made headlines, and his claims of sex addiction only made things worse. Halle, already scarred by failed relationships, tried to hold things together, but the betrayal cut too deep. The public watched her heartbreak unfold, while Eric's reputation took a massive hit. Their split became one of the most talked about divorces in Black Hollywood, not just for its pain, but for its humanity. It was proof that no amount of beauty, money, or fame can protect you from heartbreak when trust is shattered beyond repair. 2. Denzel Washington and Pauletta Washington. Denzel and Pauletta Washington seemed untouchable, decades of love, family, and grace. But even Hollywood's most respected couple wasn't immune to whispers. Rumors of infidelity followed Denzel for years, and though he never confirmed anything, the gossip refused to fade. Pauletta stood by him through it all, publicly showing strength, while privately enduring what only she knew. At one point, reports claimed they separated quietly before reuniting. The two have never aired their struggles, but those close to them say their bond was tested more than once. Their marriage became a mix of admiration and mystery, proof that even the strongest relationships can bend under fame's spotlight. For them, surviving the storm may have been harder than anyone ever realized. 1. Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith. Will and Jada Smith's relationship has been one of the most dissected in entertainment history. For years, they were Hollywood's power couple, beautiful, successful, and perfectly in sync. But behind the image was chaos. Talk of open marriage, Jada's entanglement, and years of emotional distance turned their love life into a worldwide conversation. The tension between privacy and publicity reached its peak when Jada's revelations shocked fans and left Will visibly broken on camera. Their marriage, once admired for its strength, became a symbol of how fame can twist intimacy into performance. They've both called it love, but it's a love that's seen every kind of pain. What they tried to hide became Hollywood's biggest open secret, written in heartbreak for everyone to see. Fame might shine bright, but behind those smiles are scars the spotlight can't hide. These actors showed us that even with success, heartbreak can hit just as hard, sometimes harder. But which of these shocking divorces do you think was the most unexpected? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you love uncovering the stories Hollywood tried to bury, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more untold celebrity secrets that'll leave you speechless. Williams. Tyler James Williams is best remembered as the sharp-tongued kid in the hit sitcom Everybody Hates Chris. But what many don't realize is that his story didn't stop with child stardom. Unlike so many young actors who fizzle out after their big break, Tyler made careful moves that helped him transform into a quiet millionaire. After Chris, he didn't disappear. He shifted into voice acting, independent films, and even took on music, which became another stream of income. But the real turning point came when he landed his role as Gregory Eddy in the Emmy-winning show Abbott Elementary. Not only did it reintroduce him to Hollywood, but it also paid off big financially. Beyond his acting, Tyler has invested wisely in real estate, buying properties that continue to grow in value. He's also been smart with branding, aligning himself with projects that fit his clean, relatable image. This slow and steady approach allowed him to avoid the pitfalls of fame while steadily growing his fortune. Today, Tyler James Williams isn't just the kid everyone laughed at on TV. He's a respected actor and a quiet multimillionaire who built his success carefully and strategically. 9. Kel Mitchell. For many people, Kel Mitchell will always be the lovable goofball from Kenan, R.O., Kel, and the cult classic Good Burger. His comedic timing made him a household name in the 90s, but what most don't know is that he quietly built a life of financial stability long after his Nickelodeon days. When the spotlight dimmed, people assumed Kel faded away, but behind the scenes, he was stacking wealth through multiple ventures. He returned for guest roles in television, lent his voice to animated shows like Clifford the Big Red Dog, and even picked up recurring gigs on projects that catered to family audiences. These may not have made big headlines, but they paid very well and kept his name active in the industry. On top of acting, Kel leaned into speaking engagements, motivational tours, and faith-based projects that opened new revenue streams. His deep involvement with church communities allowed him to publish books, create faith-driven media, and work with organizations that supported his values while paying handsomely. At the same time, he stayed disciplined with his money, avoiding the wild spending habits that derailed so many of his peers from the Nickelodeon and Disney era. Instead of chasing fame, Kel chased security, and it worked. Today, Kel Mitchell isn't just a nostalgic figure from the 90s. He's a quiet millionaire who turned early stardom into a foundation for long-term financial success. 8. Tatiana Ali. Fans still remember Tatiana Ali as Ashley Banks, the sweet younger cousin on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. While the show made her a familiar face, many child stars from that era struggled to maintain their wealth once the cameras stopped rolling. Tatiana, however, took a different route. She didn't rely solely on acting. She expanded into music, releasing a successful debut album in the late 90s, which sold well and boosted her income. She also toured internationally, where her music career earned her both fame and money that went under the radar for many American fans. That combination of TV income and music royalties created an early financial base, but what set Tatiana apart was her focus on education and smart business moves. She graduated from Harvard University with a degree in African American Studies and Government, giving her the knowledge and connections to take charge of her own career. Over time, she invested in real estate, signed on to smaller film and soap opera roles, and kept a steady stream of projects flowing instead of chasing fame. By diversifying her income and protecting her assets, she built a level of financial security many of her peers never achieved. Today, Tatiana Ali remains both respected and financially comfortable, showing how intelligence and strategy can turn youthful stardom into lasting wealth. 7. Leon Robinson. Leon Robinson, often known simply as Leon, is one of those actors who never had to be a constant tabloid figure to build wealth. Audiences know him from unforgettable roles like David Ruffin in The Temptations miniseries, Darice Bannock in Cool Runnings, and his part in The Five Heartbeats. While he didn't become a blockbuster headliner, he mastered the art of staying relevant and financially smart. His career stretched across film, stage, and television, and he also carved out a space in music as the lead singer of Leon and the Peoples, a reggae soul band that gave him both performance income and loyal fans. Leon also made strong financial moves outside entertainment. Instead of chasing fame, he leaned on consistency, booking roles across decades that added up to a steady flow of money. He performed in theater productions, appeared in independent films, and even stepped behind the camera to produce projects. All of these gave him ownership stakes, which meant royalties and long-term returns. Combined with endorsements, tours with his band, and investments, Leon steadily grew his fortune. Today, he remains a respected name in entertainment circles, not for scandals or extravagance, but for quietly building himself into a millionaire with discipline and longevity. 6. Essence Atkins. Essence Atkins has been a familiar face on television for years, with memorable roles in shows like Smart Guy, Half, and Are We There Yet? While she may not always grab headlines, she has built a reputation for reliability in the industry, and with it, a surprisingly strong financial foundation. Her long career in sitcoms provided steady paychecks, syndication income, and the kind of consistency that few actors enjoy. Every project she touched helped keep her relevant, and in an industry where staying booked is difficult, Essence managed to do it year after year. Beyond acting, Essence also tapped into endorsements and appearances that paid well, especially in family-friendly entertainment. She picked up roles in films and made-for-TV movies that may not have been blockbusters, but were financially rewarding. On top of that, she used her income wisely, investing in real estate and maintaining a lifestyle that allowed her to save and grow her money. By avoiding the financial pitfalls of overspending, Essence secured her position as a quiet millionaire. Today, she stands as proof that slow and steady careers, paired with smart planning, can pay off just as well as headline-grabbing stardom. 5. Raven-Symoné. Raven-Symoné's journey is one of the best examples of how early fame can be turned into long-lasting financial security. She first won audiences over as Olivia on The Cosby Show before landing her own smash hit series, That's So Raven, which became one of Disney Channel's most successful shows ever. While the fame was huge, the money behind the scenes was even bigger. Raven was one of Disney's highest-paid young stars, and her contract included royalties from merchandise, music, and spin-off projects. The show's reruns alone continued to bring in income long after the cameras stopped rolling. But Raven didn't stop there. She expanded into music, releasing albums, touring, and lending her voice to animated projects. She also co-hosted The View, which gave her another steady paycheck and raised her profile as an adult entertainer. Beyond Hollywood, Raven invested wisely in property and avoided reckless spending, ensuring her fortune grew instead of disappearing. She has often said she could have retired in her teens and lived comfortably for life, which shows just how disciplined she was with her money. Today, Raven-Symoné is more than just a childhood star. She's a multimillionaire who turned her early success into financial independence that few child actors ever achieve. 4. Jaleel White. Jaleel White will forever be remembered as Steve Urkel from the iconic sitcom Family Matters. That nerdy character not only became a cultural phenomenon, but also made Jaleel one of the highest-paid child actors of his time. What many don't realize is that the show's syndication deals and residuals continued to pay him for years, turning his catchphrase, "Did I do that?" into a steady income stream. While some actors struggle to shake off a character that defines them, Jaleel embraced his role as Urkel while also diversifying his career behind the scenes. After Family Matters, he worked as a writer and voice actor, lending his talent to projects like the voice of Sonic the Hedgehog in animated series. He also appeared in numerous guest roles and reality shows, keeping his career active while pursuing business ventures outside the spotlight. Over the years, Jaleel has invested in real estate and entrepreneurial projects that boosted his financial profile even further. Instead of fading into obscurity, he kept reinventing himself while protecting his earnings. Today, Jaleel White stands as a quiet millionaire who turned a single unforgettable role into a lifelong fortune, proving that smart management can transform TV fame into financial stability. 3. Brandy Norwood. Brandy Norwood is widely celebrated as the vocal Bible, but her wealth didn't come from music alone. She first broke through in the 90s as a platinum-selling R&B artist with hits like I Wanna Be Down and Have You Ever. By the time she was a teenager, Brandy had already sold millions of records, but she didn't stop there. She transitioned into acting, starring in the sitcom Moesha, which became one of UPN's most popular shows and provided her with a steady television paycheck. She also made history as the first black actress to play Cinderella in a major televised production, expanding her reach beyond music. But Brandy's financial savvy came from diversifying her career. She signed endorsement deals with brands like CoverGirl, collaborated with Barbie for a line of dolls, and earned royalties from both music and television projects. Later, she moved to Broadway and continued touring internationally, bringing in income from loyal fans worldwide. She also invested in real estate and business ventures, giving her a stable financial base outside entertainment. Even during personal struggles and industry setbacks, Brandy kept her wealth growing. Today, she stands as a quiet millionaire, not just because of her iconic voice, but because she turned every opportunity, whether music, acting, or business, into long-term financial success. 2. Marques Houston. Marques Houston first found fame in the R&B group Immature, later known as IMX, where he gained a loyal fan base and steady music royalties. But his real breakthrough came with his acting career, most notably as Roger Evans on Sister Sister. While the role made him a household name, Marques didn't stop with sitcom success. He transitioned into film and continued releasing solo albums, which performed well in both the US and overseas markets. By combining acting with music, he created multiple income streams at a young age. However, what truly cemented his millionaire status was his work behind the scenes. Marques became a producer, songwriter, and executive, collaborating with other artists while collecting royalties and building long-term financial stability. He also ventured into film production, co-founding the company Footage Films, which produces content for television and streaming platforms. This move allowed him to step into ownership rather than just performance, meaning he now benefits from projects long after they're released. Add in real estate investments and careful money management, and it's clear how Marques quietly built his wealth. Today, he's not just remembered as Roger or a teen heartthrob, he's a businessman and a quiet millionaire who continues to profit from decades of work in music, television. Wesley Snipes. Wesley Snipes was one of the most bankable action stars of the 1990s. But behind the scenes, his reputation for being difficult became almost as famous as his movies. On the set of Blade Trinity, his behavior went beyond normal Hollywood ego. Cast and crew later revealed that Snipes refused to interact with others, often staying in his trailer and only communicating through handwritten notes signed Blade. He reportedly clashed constantly with director David Goyer, at one point even threatening physical violence. His refusal to cooperate made the production a nightmare, and his co-stars, including Ryan Reynolds, hinted at the tense atmosphere that surrounded every scene. But the trouble didn't stop there. Snipes also developed a reputation for being arrogant in interviews and dismissive toward colleagues who challenged him. Off-screen, his refusal to pay taxes led to a high-profile conviction that further damaged his public image. Once celebrated for his talent and screen presence, Snipes became known as an actor whose ego and behavior overshadowed his career. His fall from Hollywood's good graces served as a reminder that even the brightest stars can dim when their off-screen antics dominate the spotlight. 9. Terrence Howard. Terrence Howard is known for powerful performances in films like Hustle, Flow, and for his role on the hit series Empire. But his off-screen behavior has left a trail of controversy. On set, Howard was often described as unpredictable and controlling, with a temper that could erupt without warning. Crew members and co-stars claimed he was difficult to work with, demanding special treatment and refusing to compromise on even the smallest details. His reputation became so problematic that some studios reportedly hesitated to hire him despite his undeniable talent. Beyond the workplace, Howard's personal life has been marked by troubling incidents. He has faced multiple allegations of domestic abuse from different partners over the years, which painted a disturbing picture of his behavior away from the cameras. Interviews with him often fueled the perception that he had a superiority complex, with bizarre statements about his personal philosophies and a tendency to come across as arrogant. At one point, Howard even admitted that his fiery personality and clashes with others cost him major roles in Hollywood. Instead of being remembered solely as a gifted actor with a unique presence, he became just as well known for his outbursts, scandals, and difficult nature. For many, Terrence Howard represents a case where immense talent was clouded by an attitude that alienated those around him. 8. Cuba Gooding Jr. Cuba Gooding Jr. went from Oscar glory and Jerry Maguire to a long, turbulent career marked by controversy and erratic behavior. At the height of his fame, Cuba was charming on screen, But off-screen stories painted him as someone whose ego quickly got the best of him. He was said to be arrogant with fans, dismissive toward colleagues, and constantly seeking attention in ways that rubbed people the wrong way. Instead of building on his Academy Award success, his career choices and personal behavior dragged him into a cycle of bad publicity. What truly damaged his reputation were the mounting accusations of misconduct. Over the years, Cuba faced multiple allegations of inappropriate behavior, ranging from harassment to assault, with several women coming forward. His antics in public settings, from drunken outbursts to bizarre confrontations, only added fuel to the fire. Even in court appearances, his casual and sometimes smug attitude shocked many observers who expected humility in such serious situations. Despite undeniable charisma and talent, Cuba Gooding Jr. became an example of how fame can twist into notoriety. Instead of being remembered for his groundbreaking win and early promise, his name became associated with arrogance, controversy, and self-destructive behavior that left fans deeply disappointed. 7. Mo'Nique made history with her Academy Award-winning performance in Precious, earning widespread praise for her raw talent. But just as quickly as she rose, her reputation took a hit because of her very public feuds and accusations of being difficult. Mo'Nique openly clashed with industry heavyweights like Oprah Winfrey, Tyler Perry, and Lee Daniels, claiming they blackballed her for refusing to play the game. While she insisted she was standing her ground against unfair treatment, many in Hollywood saw her as combative, arrogant, and unwilling to cooperate. Her fallout with the industry turned into years of heated interviews, lawsuits, and bitter exchanges that painted her as someone hard to work with. Instead of negotiating quietly or finding ways to rebuild bridges, she often went on the attack, calling out colleagues in ways that shocked audiences. Even her Netflix lawsuit, where she accused the company of discrimination, added fuel to her reputation as a relentless fighter, admirable to some, but off-putting to many. Mo'Nique's story became one of wasted opportunities. Her immense talent was undeniable, yet her constant battles overshadowed her artistry. For many, she became more known for her fiery personality and grudges than for the groundbreaking work that once put her on top. 6. Martin Lawrence. Martin Lawrence was one of the defining comedic voices of the 1990s, with a hit sitcom, blockbuster movies, and a stand-up career that kept audiences laughing. But behind the comedy, Martin developed a reputation for being extremely difficult and unpredictable. On the set of Martin, tensions became so high that his co-star, Tisha Campbell, accused him of harassment and walked away from the show at its peak. The feud made headlines and painted Lawrence as unprofessional and out of control, damaging the sitcom's legacy in the process. Outside of work, Martin's behavior raised eyebrows just as much. He was arrested multiple times for incidents that included erratic public outbursts, altercations, and even running into traffic while shouting wildly, later attributed to exhaustion and stress. His personal struggles often spilled into the public eye, leaving fans shocked by how much he had spiraled from the lovable comedian they admired. Though he eventually made a comeback with the Bad Boys films, Martin's reputation never fully recovered from his earlier controversies. What could have been a career defined by laughter and respect was instead clouded by reports of arrogance, harassment, and instability that left a lasting mark on his image. 5. Stacey Dash. Stacey Dash rose to fame as Dionne in the cult classic Clueless, charming audiences with her wit and style. But in real life, her reputation became one of the most polarizing in Hollywood. Known for her outspoken and often controversial political views, Dash alienated large parts of her fan base by delivering sharp, divisive commentary that left many stunned. Her time as a Fox News commentator only intensified the backlash, with critics accusing her of arrogance, insensitivity, and an eagerness to spark outrage. Beyond politics, Stacey also faced accusations of being difficult to work with. Former colleagues described her as self-centered and dismissive, creating tension on sets where teamwork was essential. Off-screen, she made headlines for family disputes and personal scandals, including legal troubles and highly publicized arrests, which further added to her troubled image. What made her fall from grace more striking was the sharp contrast between her sweet, beloved character on screen and the combative, unapologetic personality she displayed publicly. Instead of being remembered as a promising actress with enduring charm, Stacey Dash became a cautionary tale of how attitude, controversy, and stubbornness can overshadow talent and opportunity. 4. Columbus Short. Columbus Short gained fame for his role on the hit TV series Scandal, where he played the loyal and intense Harrison Wright. At first, fans loved his presence, and it seemed like he was destined for long-term success in Hollywood. But behind the scenes, Columbus's off-screen behavior quickly began to tarnish his rising star. Reports surfaced of violent outbursts, substance abuse, and reckless decision-making that made it impossible for him to maintain his career momentum. One of the biggest blows to his reputation came when he was accused of domestic violence on multiple occasions. The charges, combined with his unpredictable behavior, forced him off Scandal at the height of its popularity. Instead of capitalizing on his breakout role, he found himself entangled in court cases and public scandals that overshadowed his talent. His fights in clubs, confrontations with strangers, and constant run-ins with the law painted a picture of someone spiraling out of control. What could have been a career filled with opportunities turned into a cautionary tale. Columbus Short became known less for his acting abilities and more for his volatile personality and self-destructive choices, a reality that disappointed the fans who once rooted for his success. 3. Azealia Banks. Though primarily known as a musician, Azealia Banks has acted and made her presence felt in Hollywood, but almost always for the wrong reasons. Banks developed a reputation as one of the most controversial and combative figures in entertainment. Whether on social media or in interviews, she frequently lashed out at fellow celebrities, producers, and even entire communities with harsh insults and inflammatory comments. Her fiery temper and refusal to back down from feuds made her a constant source of headlines, but not for positive reasons. Instead of being known for her artistry, she became synonymous with chaos and conflict. Colleagues often avoided working with her because of her combative nature, and she burned bridges faster than she built them. Her online rants, sometimes targeting industry power players, left many in shock and solidified her reputation as someone who thrived on negativity. Even when she attempted to pivot back into acting or music, her past behavior loomed large, making it difficult for fans or collaborators to take her seriously. Azealia Banks stands as an example of how unchecked anger and hostility can turn raw talent into wasted potential, overshadowed by drama at every turn. 2. Lawrence Fishburne. Lawrence Fishburne is a legendary actor with a career spanning decades, from Boys and the Hood to The Matrix. But despite his undeniable talent, stories of his off-screen behavior have sometimes painted him as intimidating and difficult. Known for having a fiery temper, Fishburne has clashed with directors and colleagues over creative differences, often insisting that his vision is the only one that matters. While some admired his passion, others described his attitude as arrogant and domineering, making collaboration nearly impossible at times. His reputation for being controlling was compounded by incidents where he allegedly belittled or dismissed co-stars. Reports circulated of him losing patience on set and creating an atmosphere of tension that left cast and crew walking on eggshells. Though Fishburne has never been embroiled in scandals on the level of some other actors, his intensity and ego often overshadowed his professionalism in the eyes of those who worked with him. Despite these criticisms, his talent has kept him relevant and respected in Hollywood. Yet the whispers about his demanding nature remain part of his story, serving as a reminder that even the most respected figures can struggle with maintaining balance between artistry and humility. 1. Kanye West. Though Kanye West is best known as a groundbreaking rapper, he has also acted and taken roles in film and television projects. Still, his name belongs at the top of this list because his reputation as one of the most controversial and difficult celebrities in modern entertainment history is undeniable. Kanye built a career on genius-level creativity, but also on behavior that shocked, divided, and often alienated people around him. His public outbursts are legendary, from storming stages at award shows to fiery social media rants that targeted friends, colleagues, and even family members. Behind the scenes, industry insiders described him as demanding, erratic, and nearly impossible to work with when his ego took over. His relationships with fellow artists, producers, and business partners often ended in feuds because he refused to compromise or accept criticism. While some fans defend his boldness as part of his artistry, many